Hello everyone, MTLL Jack. Today I'm going to share you a good tip for DIYers and people who work at home who doesn't have access to a torch, unlike in the garages. The propane torch is not strong enough. It's usually when you have to change the end links, for example. As you can see, I kind of use the angle grinder and grind it. So this was like this. And I also grind the nut. So basically it was like this. And then I use the angle grinder and just grind it. I did like a notch on the nut itself. So basically, even if you tighten it back, it won't split open, even under pressure and stuff like that. It's just that the angle grinder was able to heat it up. And what happens when you try to remove end links is the threads are very rusted on the outside here. I also cleaned it with a wired brush, but by cutting it, you release some of the pressure on the nut, and then I use vice grips at the back to clamp it from behind, because this one is not a bolt. Most of the time when you change your end links, it has a bolt, but this one does not have it. So I had to use vice grips, grab it from the back right here, and so this was like here, and then I grind it. On every car I do this when I change the end links, and it always works. It's much easier. It releases the pressure and the tightness on the nut itself, and voila, you can remove it easily. I did for both sides, and then you just clean both threads. Usually if I change the end links, I would cut it from the sides like this, but since this time we're just keeping it, so I had to keep the end links intact in order. For example, this is the Nissan Rogue I'm currently working on, and I had to change the control arms, but the end links are in the way. So what I'm going to do is probably attach it like this, so I have more space to work with. But in general idea, that's it. I always cut my nuts. Well, I don't cut it. I just make some nuts, a notch, in order to release the pressure on the nut itself. It won't break, don't worry. The nut itself is strong enough. And after working like 8 years as a DIYer and backyard mechanic, this is the absolute way if you don't have access to a real torch at the garage that will heat it till it's red and then it can be loosened. But otherwise, according to my experience, 8 years experience working at home, not in the garage, this is the best way, especially if you're in areas like Canada or places that snow and has a lot of salt. Then you'll need to also use, strongly suggest PB Blaster, rust penetrant. Do not use WD-40 like some people say. It does not work. It's a lubricant. This is a rust penetrant. See, penetrating catalyst. I do believe WD-40 has one that is for rust penetrant, but the standard one, the blue one, does not work. So like I said, in summary, make a notch on the bolt, cut it like this. It always works, and even when you spread it back, it won't loosen or it won't break. This is very strong, and usually these nuts are like 10.9 or something. The grades of the nut are like 10.9, so they won't break at all. See, you always have access to the grinder. By the grinder, I mean an angle grinder would have a cutting disc like this. This is my angle grinder. And then, yes, I'm a big fan of Rock Auto. And then I use this Milwaukee's vice grip. They also have this notch, this hole here, for you to pass a screwdriver through, and then you can tighten even more. So that's how I always use and fight against linkets that are very stubborn, and nuts that are very stubborn. Always this trick, cutting a notch, loosen the nut a bit, and then voila, you can usually use a impact, and then it's gonna come out eventually. So I wish you guys good luck, and I hope this tip really helped you guys. Like I said, I've been working 8 years as a DIYer and as a backyard mechanic, so I have a lot of experience as a DIYer. I never have a lift, I never have the proper garage equipments. So I always try to find solutions, and I hope this will help you guys. Thank you guys for watching. This is MTLJ. I'll see you soon.